right? That which we ought to do at the right time, we cannot do it because we've lost our will, we've lost our focus, we've lost our power, that dominion, right? To simple things, things that ought to be what we control, we've lost our power to them. So this morning we'll start by looking at those different types. When you say addiction, what are the categories that we have, and what are the things that are in those different categories? And then after that, we move on to overcoming those addiction. All right. So the first category we have here, type of addiction, we have two major types of addiction according to our manual. All right. I'm sure also, I think in the medical field, I'm not a medical practitioner, but I know people talk about this as well in these same divisions. So we have two major categories. We have the substance and non-substance addiction. Substance and non-substance addiction. When you say substance addiction, from the word substance, you think about something tangible, something you can hold on to, right? Something you can interact with physically, right? That is substance addiction. So anything that you can handle, you can hold on to, but has this definition of addiction in it, that you've lost your will to it, that is basically what substance addiction is all about. All right. So it says here that it is also called substance use disorder. Right. So basically, it can start with things that, things that are generally or genuinely important to us, even important to our health. We see people using marijuana to cure things today. I think people with cancer or something, I think they do maybe pain. I don't know what they use it for really, but I know they use it in that line, right? But we know that has the tendency to get a big grip on the mind of anyone that is using it, and in time the person will lose control of it. But the question is it bad to use it for your health? Of course not, because it is good. That is why the doctors are prescribing it in that case. As simple as Tylenol is, right? Is it bad to use Tylenol? Of course not. There's this one, ibuprofen, right? Is it bad to use it? No. If you are feeling pain, you should use it, right? But then we also know that it has a tendency of reducing your pain threshold or something, your ability to withhold pain, your natural ability to withhold pain, to the extent that it's a single, ant bite on your body, you are looking for ibuprofen everywhere because you cannot stop. Because over time, that definition of addiction, you've exposed yourself to repeated, continuous dependence, reliance on that substance. So as Christians, as believers, because I believe I'm talking to believers today, our responsibility is to ensure that, those things that are, around us, right, we watch it. We watch our surroundings. We watch the things we rely on, especially things we cannot do without on daily basis. Food, sleeping. Well, I'm coming to that. That's non-substance. But food, right? Things we drink. Our Bible passage that we read, Proverbs 31, 2-6, talks about drinking, right? If you read the Bible, you will not see, well, based on my knowledge anyway, you won't see drug abuse in the Bible. But one thing the Bible warns us against is drinking, alcohol. Drinking. I know it's still a big debate in Christendom now. The Bible does not say it is sin to drink or whatever. I know it is. But we see here, and so many verses in the Bible, how God warned us against drinking. The Bible says, verse 6 says, "Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish." That is ready to perish. Give strong drink to him that is ready to perish. Why? Because we know that those things, drinking alcohol has a way to control your mind over time to an extent in which you just cannot give it up again. It can be as simple as, I like this, I like the taste, let me take a sip today. It's just red wine, let me take a sip today. But then over time, you just cannot give it up anymore. Right? And it is so sad that, when you see adverts on tobacco, on all these things, right? They will put it there. Smokers are liable to die young, right? They will let you know that this thing you are doing has addictive properties in it. It has it in it, right? But then it is still one of the best-selling products in this country and everywhere else in the world today. It is funny, right? Because when you think about it, how can a man, and it is in a manual here, right? It says here that, it refers to condition in which an individual is unable to control the use of a substance despite experiencing negative consequences. Despite the negative consequences. One thing is to do things unknowingly. One thing is used to use a substance and not know that this thing can cause cancer, this thing can do this. I didn't know. That is different. But nobody today can say that they do not know that smoking is linked to lung cancer. There is no one. Even if you are not a scientist, there is that correlation there. You listen to the advert, it is there. Even the shop where they are selling it is written on the wall. It is there. You see it everywhere, but still, despite the negative consequences, people are exposed to it. And we have a few examples here. I'm sure it is also projected here. See, we have some of these I can't even pronounce it. We have skunk, we have Malin Kush, whatever that is. We have Molly, we have cocaine. Yes, that one is popular. We have opioid, heroin. I'm not going to pronounce this one. We have benzoic, we have diazepam, codeine, Colorado, ice. How can someone get addicted to ice? Ice, alcohol, cigarette, tobacco, marijuana, nicotine, dequadine, caffeine. Caffeine. That's a very important one. Caffeine, coffee. Coffee, right? I take coffee, right? And I'm sure a lot of people take coffee here. Is taking coffee a sin? No. Right? Is it a sin? No. But there are some people that they just cannot function without coffee. Take away coffee from their life, they are vegetable. When you get to that level, then you know there is a problem. That is the B part of today's lesson, overcoming it. All right? You have to decide. You have to identify it by yourself. Don't wait until Bro Bolade or your friend tells you that, I think you are getting addicted to this thing. Identify it, realize it, and then know that this thing must not have control over me. There's this important Bible verse Brodiolu brought up, when we're talking about this, 1 Corinthians 6:12. Apostle Paul talking about all things are permissive unto me. All things are lawful unto me. But I will not be brought under the influence of any. The moment you just cannot do without coffee anymore, trust me, you've been brought under the influence of it. Coke. As simple as Coca-Cola can be, right? Coke. Some people, their body will be vibrating, but give them Coke, they are back, right? Right? Coke, Fanta, sugar, right? I mean, drinking this thing does not necessarily say it is bad, but the moment you are brought under the influence, then it is a problem. So that is under the substance addiction. And to wrap up that part, we'll read 1 Corinthians 3:17. Can someone read that verse for us? 1 Corinthians 3:17. Thank you, ma'am. If any man defile, so there is a judgment on people that will not watch it, the use of this thing. There is a judgment on it. The moment you get to that level, basically you are destroying that temple in which God has given unto you. People will say, my body, my choice. That's not true. It is not your body. It is the temple of the Lord. It is the property of God. Especially if you are a believer, you should know that much. It is the property of God. So if you're using it recklessly, if